Hey guys, it's Matt from You and Your Horror Movies, and I'm doing another random review for you. It's another one from Wildeye Releasing, and it's called The Horror Network. This is a horror anthology done by the guys from Wildeye, and it is 5 stories, um, pretty much. There is no wraparound, so pretty much it says serial killers, ghostly phone calls, inner demons, outwardly creatures, monsters, and creepy stalkers collide in this frightening anthology. 6 of horror's most promising new directing talents join forces to pay homage to classic horror like Creepshow, Tales from the Crypt, VHS, and the ABCs of Death, and weave an unforgettable, disturbing tapestry of terror. Okay, so you do have 5 stories. Right now, when you play the movie, it starts off with the very first story called 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is a woman in a European countryside. Uh, she just hears all these weird noises, screams, doesn't think anything of it, and later on, she's asleep and wakes up at 3 a.m. The alarm clock goes off. She's wandering the house. Uh, Lights are on, the TV turns itself on, sinks are turning themselves on. Uh, just weird shit. She finds some old toys and she calls her mother at 3 a.m. saying, "Hey, why'd you give me this Jack in the Box?" Mom's like, "There is no Jack in the Box." So you pretty much got a ghostly tale. And it's a very short story. Can't really get into much because with anthologies, it's kind of very hard to review because you don't want to ruin all the stories. Just by saying one little thing could spoil the whole thing. So I'll just leave it as that for 3 a.m. Uh, the next story we go into is called Edward. It is a young um, male sitting with his psychologist. And his name, I think, was. I don't remember what his name was, but it wasn't Edward. uh, Pretty much this one is about the young boy's talking to a psychologist. He hasn't slept in days. And the psychologist is trying to figure out, what happens. Come to find out a girl died 2 nights ago in his school, and he's all pissed off. Well, come to find out that's when he fell asleep at first. So he thinks he slept walk, went in, and killed her. And when he was been saying this, he's talking about, split personalities. He's talking about other psychological dilemmas. So that one was okay story. Um, I did leave it up for interpretation on what you want to do to it. The ending was kind of neat, but other than that, it was pretty cool. The next one is called The Quiet One. It's a young girl, probably in her mid teens. She is deaf in one ear and she has to wear a hearing aid in the other. She sends her mom a text saying, "Hey, can you pick me up at the bus stop?" Well, she leaves her phone on the bus by accident and she decides to walk home. Well, she comes to find this blue van that's pretty much following her. She doesn't like what she sees, and then she takes off into the woods. And the person driving the blue van is now following her and pretty much chasing her through the woods. I gotta leave it as that because if I give anything more, it ruins it. The ending was kind of cool. Good little storyline. Kind of reminded me of a Tales from the Crypt type style. The Quiet One was pretty good. I recommend that one. Okay, the next one is based off, I think it's called Christmas Eve. It's actually a Spanish film, and you pretty much have to read it. It's all subtitles. This one was a little confusing, so I'm going to take my confusion and put it to the test, where pretty much you have this young woman. She's talking about the past when she was a little girl on Christmas Eve with her parents. Now, her dad was an asshole. The dad would beat up his wife, cut her up a little bit, and pretty much rape her. And he did it in front of his daughter. He guess he did this multiple times. Left the mom scarred very badly. Left the daughter scarred very badly. So the daughter's talking to, I don't know if it's her friend or an acquaintance. You know, we have this history together with all of us. We have this disease. She carries this weird mask with her too. It's a white face mask with black eyes, and it looks like when she puts it on, she sees the monster what her father has become. That's what this cover looks like. And yeah, mom gets a very strange phone call, and things just go downhill from there. I had to probably watch this one again. It was a little bit confusing at first, but I think I got it. It was a little bit twisted around, but for a psychological film, that was not bad. Now, the last one, oh boy, the Disturbed one, I think it's called. And pretty much it's a black and white silent film. When they're doing the films, they are showing scripture. And it's show like different scripture of what is pretty much happening. And, oh man, uh, this bald headed, fat ass, fucked up individual invites a man over. And the next proverb says, man should not cover with man and everything. Well, he kills him. He kills the young man, and he pretty much rapes his corpse. And then, if you've seen the movie Headless, he does something similar what they did in the movie Headless. And the ending of it, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Wow. I said I can't get much into the ending because, like I said, with short stories, they're very hard to really put out there because you don't want to spoil it. But if you're big into anthology films, I highly recommend this one. Uh, like I said, the last story just leaves you, what? Really? That's what he does for a living? I'll leave it like that. A couple of the stories were a little confusing, but other than that, they weren't bad. They said this was a volume one, so maybe they're going to do another horror network. I don't know. If you love anthologies, I highly just pick this one up for sure if you can get it cheap. Uh, Not for everybody. There's some weird storylines, but some pretty fucked up storylines too, which was pretty neat for short story films. So you got 5 tales. There is no wraparound. It's just one after another, which was not bad. So guys, definitely check out the Horror Network from Wildeye Releasing. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Please let me know what you thought of this review down below. All right, guys. Have a good night. Peace.